I'm going to have to leave Brazil and move back to Sweden. I thought I'd done all the research about Brazil before moving here. I checked visa requirements, I'd found a nice safe town, I researched the cost of living, what the culture is like, I'd learned Portuguese. So I thought I'd done all the research and decided that Brazil would be the perfect country for me to live in. But I forgot to check one really important thing. Whether there are IKEA stores in Brazil. And the answer is no. There's not a single IKEA store in the whole of Brazil or the whole of South America apart from one store in the city of Santiago in Chile. And for us Swedes, IKEA is very important to us. So IKEA is a Swedish company. It's the biggest furniture retailer in the world. And I grew up with an IKEA store close to where I lived. And my family and I were constantly going there. Whenever we needed anything for the house, we would always go to IKEA and buy it there. So for me, and I think the majority of the Swedish population, IKEA is something very important and it's a big part of the Swedish culture. And yeah, I know that some people think of IKEA as this big evil corporation that's kind of destroying the smaller local businesses. And I can see their point. But then I go to IKEA and I find a bed for $50 and a sofa for $50. And then I go to the IKEA restaurant and have the meatballs with gravy and maybe a cinnamon bun or a chocolate dime cake. I just forget about all of that. But obviously I'm joking about moving back to Sweden. I knew that there weren't any IKEA stores in Brazil before I moved here. But I still have hope that one day IKEA will open up some stores here in Brazil. But until that happens, there are lots of other stores here in Brazil where you can buy furniture. And two of the big ones are Tok Stok, or as the Brazilians call it, Tok Stok. And the other one is Leroy Merlin. And you can find these stores in many cities around Brazil. And down here in the south of Brazil, you've got them in Porto Alegre, Florianópolis, Curitiba, and some other cities as well. And if we have a look at Tok Stok first, so this store is probably the most similar to IKEA. So when you enter the store, first you have to walk through all the display of furnitures, and they've created all these little rooms, so living rooms, bedrooms, showing all their furniture, just like IKEA. And then you go downstairs and they've kind of got a marketplace similar to IKEA as well. But let's have a look at a couple of pieces of furniture and see how much they cost. So one of the first things I saw when I entered the store were these sofas here and the armchair. So I had a look at the price of these. And the price of this white sofa is 3,399 reais, which is $590. And I thought that's quite reasonable for a big sofa like this. But then I realized this sofa is actually made up of 3 parts. And this price tag here is just for one of the parts, so this left part. And then you've got the middle part, which is another $500, and then another section to the right here, which is another $590. So in total, this whole sofa is 9,997 reais, which is $1,700. And that is quite a lot of money for a sofa. Now, Tok Stok does have much cheaper sofas. So I saw this one here, so a simple 2-seater sofa, and this is 2,149 reais, which is $374. That's a lot more reasonable. And if you compare that to IKEA, you've got similar 2-seater sofas. So I found this one here, which is $449. IKEA always has some really cheap, simple options as well. So you've got this very simple sofa here for $179. But Tok Stok also kind of does that. And they also have a cheap sofa, which is 1,099 reais, which is $191. So you can see here, the prices are actually quite similar here on sofas between Tok Stok and IKEA. And actually the quality of the furniture in Tok Stok is pretty good. They're not made of, super cheap material, which is just going to last 1 or 2 years. No, the quality also is very similar to IKEA. And then if you just look at some leather armchairs as well, so you got this one here, which is 1,499 reais, which is $260. And comparing that to IKEA, IKEA's got similar armchairs for about $299. But then again, IKEA has some really cheap options. So it's got its famous Poeng armchair, which is just $99, which is a very good and comfortable chair for just $99. And yeah, Tok Stok doesn't have anything similar. The cheapest armchair they've got is 849 reais, which is $147. But it doesn't look as comfortable as the IKEA one, that's for sure. And if we look at dining tables, so they've got a big selection here of dining tables. So you've got simple ones like this white one, which costs 699 reais, which is $121, which is a very reasonable price. And then obviously you got much bigger, nicer ones as well. So you got this one here, which is 3,499 reais, which is $608. But remember, this is just for the dining table, not the chairs. So the chairs are extra. And comparing it to IKEA, IKEA also has dining tables, similar price range. Cheapest one is this Vic House dining table, which is $79. So again, IKEA has some cheaper options, which are a bit lower than Tok Stok, but it's not a major difference. And Tok Stok also sells kitchens. So if we look at this one here, this one is super expensive. So this one cabinet here is 6,098 reais, which is $1,060. But that's just for this one cabinet. So then if you look at this whole kitchen here in display, so the cabinets down here and then also above, the price is 35,000 reais, which is $6,000. So that's definitely not the cheapest kitchen, but they have cheaper options as well. They have simple white kitchen cabinets like this one here, which is 799 reais, which is $139. And IKEA's got a similar range, so they've got cheap ones like this here, white cabinet for $154, up to much more expensive ones. But what I would say is that the range of kitchens and styles that IKEA have are much, much bigger than what Tok Stok has. And now we're in the bedroom area. So here they've got various beds. So you've got a simple single bed frame here, which is 1,299 reais, which is $226. But obviously that's just for the frame, not for the mattress. And then you've got some cool bunk beds as well for the children's bedroom. So you've got this one here, which is 3,499 reais, which is $608. And then you've got an even cooler one here. I mean, this is very cool. And this is 4,199 reais, which is $730. And then lots of double beds as well. So you've got this one here. The bed frame is 3,599 reais, which is $626. But then you need to have a mattress as well. So the mattress is 2,699 reais, $469. But then they also have even cheaper options. So the cheapest double bed they have is this one here, which is 999 reais, which is $173. But that doesn't compare to IKEA, where you can buy a double bed frame for $59. And then going downstairs, here they've got a bit of a garden furniture area, and then also office furniture down here with desks and chairs and everything. And then after that you can arrive in the marketplace. We've got decorations and smaller things for the home. So you've got lighting and lamp section here. And then after that, lots of decorations and some toys for kids as well. And then bed linens and pillows for the bedroom. And then after that, the kitchen area, so plates, cups, glasses, and frying pans and all of that. So let's just have a look at a couple items here and see how much they cost. So you've got lots of small coffee cups here, because Brazilians love their cafezinho, their small cup of coffee. So a small coffee cup here is 27 reais 90, which is $4.90. And a big plate is 27 reais 90, which again is $4.80. Here you can't really compare it to IKEA. You can buy plates and cups and glasses and stuff less than $1 a piece. So here the prices are definitely higher, that's for sure. And you got some more outside furniture here, and some art, and some more chairs and coat hooks as well. And then beyond the checkout, you got a cafe. You can buy some snacks and stuff, and they also serve some lunch. But unfortunately, it's not like the IKEA restaurant, where they serve the meatballs with gravy, and then a bulle cinnamon rolls and the chocolate dime cake. I mean, yeah, man, do I miss the chocolate dime cake, that's for sure. Now, I think overall, Tok Stok is a really good store. It has some really nice furniture. I mean, some of it is very expensive, but they have more reasonably priced options as well. Obviously, it's much smaller than IKEA, and the range of furniture is much smaller than IKEA as well. What I would say about the prices here in Tok Stok is that, a lot of the furniture is a similar price to IKEA. But yeah, IKEA has these super cheap options, which Tok Stok doesn't have. But even with other furniture where the prices are similar between IKEA and Tok Stok, the prices are seen as very expensive here in Brazil, and that's because in Sweden and Europe and the States, people's salaries are a lot higher than they are here in Brazil. So even though the furniture in Tok Stok might be a similar price to IKEA, but because people are earning less here in Brazil, the furniture is seen as very expensive. But then there are other stores that sell cheaper furniture, and one of them is Leroy Merlin. This is more like Home Depot, Lowe's in the States, and like B&Q in the UK. So here you can buy furniture and decorations for the home, but then they also sell tools, timber, things for the garden, and so on. So let's have a quick look at this store. So like I said, it's got lots of decorations. You've got paintings and posters, and then lots of rugs and carpets. So let's just see how much a rug costs. So you got this one here with a kind of a diamond pattern on it, and this one is 328 reais, which is $57. And then soft furnishings here, so cushions and curtains and so on. So let's just have a look at the prices on curtains here. So you got these long grey ones here, go all the way down to the floor, and they are 272 reais, which is $47. And now we've reached the kitchen department. So Leroy Merlin sells, just like Tok Stok, lots of modular kitchens, and they've got some displays here. So you've got this small kitchen here, and the price of all of these cabinets here is 13,999 reais, which is $2,400. And you've got a bigger kitchen here with an island, and all of these units cost 18,400 reais, which is $3,200. But then it has much cheaper options as well. So you've got this small kitchen here, which is 2,869 reais, which is $470. So it's got much cheaper options as well. And then Leroy Merlin also sells wardrobes. So you got this white wardrobe unit here. That is 3,290 reais, which is $570. But what I would say is that in general, I think the quality of the furniture here in Leroy Merlin, yeah, it's a bit cheaper than Tok Stok, but the quality is not as good. But that's just my impression from a couple of things that I bought from Leroy Merlin. And then Leroy Merlin also sells home appliances as well, so microwaves and cooktops and everything. So here you've got various microwaves. So let's just have a look at one. So this one here is 629 reais, which is $110. And in this aisle you've got lots of cooktops as well, electrical and gas. And then below that you've got ovens as well. So this oven here is 1,359 reais, which is $240. So you've got lots of cooktops as well. So this one here is a gas with 4 burners, and this is 599 reais, which is $105. And then Leroy Merlin also has lots of shelves. It's got bathroom furniture and garden furniture as well, but it doesn't sell beds. So yeah, it's got wardrobes but not beds. But the range of furniture available is a lot less than in Tok Stok. And what I would say about the prices is that, yeah, in general the prices here are a bit lower than Tok Stok, but still relatively high. And you can find even cheaper options online. And one of the big online retailers for furniture is called Madeira Madeira, which translates as wood. And here you can find everything for the home. And in general, here the prices are lower than both Tok Stok and Leroy Merlin. So you can see here, you can buy everything from wardrobes, dining tables, TV stands, sofas, kitchens, office, garden furniture, beds, bathroom furniture, home appliances, decorations. So let's just quickly have a look at a couple of things. So sofas, for example. So let's have a look at the lowest price first. So let's see what we've got here. 16. For a second there, I thought I could buy a sofa for 69 reais, $10, but no, that's the cover for the sofa. Armchairs, that's not really a sofa, but here's a sofa here, 2-seater sofa, 469 reais, which is $80. Furniture. So you can see you can get some much cheaper stuff here online. Now it's going to be a delivery charge here, but sometimes it's very small, like 20-30 reais, or other times it's a bit more. But in general, you can save a lot of money buying online. But obviously, I don't know what the quality is of this sofa here. It's probably not the best. And then let's just have a look at kitchens. So again, here you can find some really cheap stuff. So you've got this one here, 230 reais. So you got 7 doors, 2 drawers, and it's a rustic kitchen. So yeah, very small, and I don't think you can fit a sink here actually. Yeah, and I don't know what the quality is either. But yeah, you can get some seriously cheap things as well. But what I would say is that a lot of Brazilians, they don't buy flat pack furniture from stores like these that I showed you or online. What they like to do is they like to buy custom made furniture. So I would probably say that kind of 90% of my Brazilian friends and family, they buy custom made furniture. So I'm talking about kitchens, the furniture in bedrooms, bathrooms, the living room as well. So they employ interior designers, or they go to one of these custom-made furniture companies who've got designers there, and they design all of the furniture so it fits perfectly into their rooms, and then they come to their home and install everything. And this is very common here in Brazil. I mean, that's totally different to the Swedish culture. We like to buy flat pack furniture and make it ourselves and install it. But I think that the DIY mentality that we Swedes have, or in Europe, it's not as strong as here in Brazil, and many people don't like to build their own furniture. But doing like this can be very expensive, especially if you employ an interior designer. And just to show you what the prices are, so you've got this kitchen here. So this kitchen here was custom made. All the cabinets and everything cost 19,000 reais, which is $3,300. And then you've got a granite worktop on top, which was 7,000 reais, which is $1,200. So in total, this kitchen cost 26,000 reais, which is $4,500. So I mean, that's a lot of money. But what I would say is that if you compare that to some of the kitchens in Tok Stok, which I showed you earlier, this actually comes out cheaper than buying that kitchen from Tok Stok. And then do the same for the bedrooms and the bathrooms and so on. Okay, so I hope this video was useful. I just wanted to show you some of the options and where you can buy furniture and how much they cost. And as you can see, even though Brazil doesn't have IKEA, there are lots of other good stores out there that sell furniture. So if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe. If you've got any questions or anything, leave in the commentary below. So thanks for watching. Until next time.